Excellent. Okay, now let's see who accepts the stream, and then I can put the link on your page.
Okay.
Twitch has accepted the stream. YouTube has accepted the stream. Facebook has accepted the stream. Now, put your headsets on.
Oh. That would help, wouldn't it?
Okay.
Testing.
All right, you know how to adjust your volumes. Virginia, you're orange.
I'm orange.
You know where the orange knob is? It's around the corner where the pencils are. I'm kind of pointing to it.
I think it's over here.
See the orange knob?
Oh.
Uh-huh.
over here.
You adjust that till it's the volume you like.
Okay.
All right, so there's that.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. 1, 2, 3.
And Jennifer, yours is blue.
Yep.
Okay. All right, now I'm going to get the link, and I'm going to put it on Virginia's page.
I can hear myself breathing. That's weird.
Pull it away.
Okay, that's better.
All right, you got the microphone the way you like it?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, yours is kind of far.
Yeah, I could hear myself breathing, and I thought it was weird.
Turn the blue thing down then. That's a sign you have that up too far.
Ah, okay. I think it's just me being weird.
Oh.
No, I can hear it too.
You can hear me breathing too?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you can set it any way you like. The point is we just want to be able to hear you.
Can you guys hear me?
Vaguely.
Can you hear me now?
Usually it's 4 fingers away and we can hear you. Very good.
There we go.
And I will turn you down here. And if that doesn't work, I have another setting where I can eliminate your breathing if you want me to.
I can't hear it now.
Now you turn up the blue. Get it the way you like it.
Hello.
How's that?
Hello. Yep, that's good.
All
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's got different hearing.
Yeah.
All right, now I'm going to go to Virginia's page.
Excuse me.
What is your second name on Facebook? Kerwin?
It's Virginia Ginger Kerwin McIntyre.
There it is. Let's post it on there. There it is. Oh, what a nice dog on your page. Is that your dog?
Yeah, it's my dog.
What's your dog's name?
Nanook.
Very good.
But that might be another dog that's no longer with us named Wonder that you're looking at.
Oh,
But they're both huskies.
you have a fondness for huskies?
Yeah, I do.
Are they friendly to people?
Yes, very friendly to people.
Ah.
They don't make very good watchdogs.
Ooh. Okay. Okay, you see the timer in the center of the screen?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when it says on the air, you're on the air, okay?
Okay, thank
Cool.
you, Richard. Welcome. And here we are at Illuminating Forward, the podcast. I'm Virginia McIntyre, your hostess with the mostest tonight. And we are here at Think Twice Radio, home of the future. And we have a guest tonight. We have Jennifer De Jesus Nicholson. And welcome to a different format tonight. We're going to be doing Tea Time Talks. And it's going to be all about love tonight. We're going to be talking all about love. If you have any questions that are pertinent to love, we're not doing any readings or anything like that tonight. But if you have any questions about love as we go through, just put them in the comments. And, as long as we're live, we can read them and we can get back to you. And we can talk about it in the show. But, and we have our tea. We have our tea. See, we have our tea. We have our tea. Here we go.
I have my travel cup.
Travel cup. I have my fortune cup. So, what I wanted to start out with, I wanted to talk about the different types of love, and the ancient Greece. Now, I wrote it down because I wanted to make sure that I stay on topic, because we all know that I'll go to China, I'll go to Yugoslavia, I'll go to Greenland and everything before I get back to where we're supposed to be on topic,
There are many side quests.
Yes.
In the things, yes.
Yeah, so I don't want to do that, so I want to stay on topic. So I want to talk about the ancient Greeks. The ancient Greeks, they talked about 8 different types of love.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very convoluted topic, even in modern times. But even in ancient times, they realized that it can be confusing for people.
Yeah.
And so they talked about the 8 different types of love, and one of them was eros, philia, storge, ludus, agape, pragma, mania, and philatia, or as they say in English, philetia.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to stick with philatia, because that's how you say it in Greek.
Okay.
And so when we talk about eros, when we talk about that is our romantic type of love. This is what people are all worried about in February. Valentine's Day and chocolates and cards and flowers and candy and all that good stuff. And it's about sexual passion, desire, and it's named after the Greek god of fertility.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's the first kind of love, believe it or not. That's what the ancient Greeks believed, that the first type of love that you ever know is eros love. And it can be a quite intoxicating emotion.
Yeah. Passion changes things.
Yeah, and it can cause people to behave very strangely.
Mm-hmm.
And out of character, I would say, right?
I would say so.
Yeah, I mean,
Been there, done that.
Yeah, we all have. And some people say, well, I would never tolerate that. And then they find themselves in that situation, and they do tolerate that.
Yeah.
And all of this in the name of love, right?
Yep.
But then again, we had Tina Turner who said, what's love got to do with it?
That's true. That is true.
And then we have philia, which is affectionate love, which is about deep friendship between friends.
And what I was reading about the Greeks, is that they consider that philia could be even more important than eros, because friendship is a good thing, right? And the love between friends can often, sometimes it can be, it can change over into like love, romantic love.
Absolutely, absolutely. There's an old saying that you don't fall in love, you grow in love.
Mm-hmm.
And that's important to be friends first before you're actual lovers,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of theories on that. Yeah, absolutely. So the Greeks thought that philia was a little bit more important. Interesting.
Yeah, what I was doing a little bit of reading before we started, and I was like, oh, that's interesting, but it makes sense. Because once if you're staying with somebody from, you get married or you decide to stay with a person for a long time, that passion and that sex drive and stuff, it ends up, you may not have it when you're older, but it's important to remain friends and still do things as friends, and
I
you
know
still have
people.
that.
I know people that haven't had any type of sexual relations with their partners in 20 years, but they're still together.
Yeah.
So that's a very good for you, Jennifer, for adding that little bit of tidbit of information. And philia is the basis for platonic love.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because
Yeah.
we can, you know, and it's not based on physical attraction.
Right.
Right, just as you just said, that sometimes there is an ebb and flow to sexual desire
Yep.
and romance and
That's
what
just
and if you're not friends, what do you have after that's gone?
right.
Because there's an ebb and flow to it,
Right.
you know.
Yep.
Now, storage is family love between siblings, parents, and children.
Mm-hmm.
And it can also equate into close friends.
Yeah. Okay.
I thought
Very
that
cool.
was interesting.
Yeah.
And ludus is playful love.
Okay.
Um,
And that's between friends.
Yeah,
Or-
that's between friends or
like
any
flirting.
or flirting or anything that's a little joyful, a little jovial, not too serious, type of thing. Yeah. Now, agape, that is very interesting. That's also in the Christian Bible.
Mm-hmm.
It's universal love. It's selfless. It's unconditional, and it can be. The ancient Greeks felt that it was for the love of gods, and for God, and the love that gods had for humans,
Okay. Very
and
interesting.
humans for God, and so agape love. And then there's pragma, is enduring love. It's built on commitment, duty, and understanding, practical love that focuses on personal qualities and shared goals. That would be like a marriage over time.
Yeah. How it transitions into.
Yeah.
Very cool.
You know, some people, there was, I was reading an article just last week about where a man was married for 60 years. I'm sure that he practiced pragma love and eros love and agape love and
Filio.
philia
Yeah.
at different times of his time being married.
Yeah.
Now, mania is an imbalance.
Obsessive and toxic, from what I read.
Yeah, obsessive love and unbalance between two people. Yeah, that can be a little discerning. It can be a little unsettling. It can for both people involved.
Mm-hmm.
I know when people have been obsessive over me, that it made me very uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
So not only is the person who's having the obsession, not only are they, toxic, but the person that is the focal point can feel uncomfortable as well.
Yeah.
You know,
it's not a good feeling.
No, and then philatia, which we'll be talking about more in depth when we get to strategies and tips on how to increase love, is about self-love and being compassionate and accepting of yourself. They're doing a lot of research out of that in the University of Texas about self-compassion and self-love.
It's become a thing, like a trend. It seems like in the past few years with people, self-care, self-love.
Yeah,
You got to do all these things, and they make it seem like it's like, frilly and fancy, and take a bubble bath or something like that.
yeah. Take a bubble bath and everything will be fine.
Right.
Waves. Welcome to the show, Mick Rambo.
Hi, Mick.
Hi, Mick. I'm so glad you're here
Me too.
tonight. Yay. Welcome to the show. And so that's the 8 types of love from the ancient Greeks. Now, the Christian Bible has 4 types of love
Okay.
that are found in the Christian Bible. And I bring up the Christian Bible because a lot of people in this area, because we are a local radio station, are Christian. Certainly there are different types of religions and faith wisdoms out there.
Sure.
Oh, Mick, I've missed you too.
Aw.
I've missed you too. We can get together for tea or coffee. Hit me up on Facebook and we can get together. So we can be with the Christian Bible. there are all different types of wisdom traditions, you know, but we live in a predominantly Christian nation, you know, even though we are a pluralistic society.
Yeah.
So that's why I brought that up, because even if you're not Christian, you can go to a Christian grammar school and a Christian high school, you know, whatever. So, so the 4 types of love in the Christian Bible are agape, storge, eros, and phileo.
Okay.
Now, according to the Bible, agape is the highest and the greatest.
And that's the one that's unconditional.
Unconditional, God to humans, humans to God. It's God's love according to Paul. And Paul wrote about this in 1 Corinthians 13, about unconditional, selfless, sacrificial love. Sacrificial love as well, sacrificial love.
Yeah.
And we've all been in relationships where we have sacrificed something for the good of another,
Sure.
or for the good of the community, or something like that, you know. And that would be agape love.
Yeah.
Now, John 3:16 in the Christian Bible talks about, "For God so loved the world that He gave us His only Son,"
Right.
and that just goes to show you, you know, your agape love in the Bible.
Yeah.
Now, filial love is about friendship in the Bible.
Yeah.
About friendship, about honoring your friends, and brotherly love and mutual affection, trust, camaraderie, friends, companions. That's all under filial love
Yeah.
in the Christian Bible, which again goes over to the ancient Greeks. But then again, the Christian Bible was written in Greek, so parts of it in Hebrew, parts of it in Greek. Now, storge is family love again, and it's natural. It's not forced. It's natural between parents and children, siblings and family.
Right.
And then eros, they talk about that in the Christian Bible. Hot stuff. Hot stuff, right? All right. Romance, passionate, physical, emotional, and spiritual aspects between husband and wife. And they do talk about that. You know, they talk about, like, for example, they talk about women in the Bible that couldn't have children.
Yeah.
You know, even though they were obviously involved in sexual relations, they couldn't have children. And so they would have their maids sleep with their husbands and give birth that way.
Interesting.
By proxy, yeah. Very, very, very interesting book the Bible is. Very interesting book the Bible.
Yeah.
But of course that was in the Old Testament.
Okay.
You know, that was in the Old Testament. So I want to talk about philatia, about self-love, because you know it's as you said, this is like a hot topic right now. This is what the University of Texas is all about. Miss Neff down there in the University of Texas and Brene Brown, they're both talking about self-love, self-compassion, and why is it important? Why do you think it's important? Why do you think self-love is important?
I think that in this day and age, a lot of people come down on themselves, and they're very hard on themselves. As a whole, you know, there's a lot that people as a whole deal with, and you know, we end up, you know, beating ourselves up, and you know, or whatever, you know, society has us thinking that, you know, we have to be one way to be beautiful, or we have to be one way to you know, fit in with the crowd and all this stuff, and I don't think that should be a thing. And I feel like the more negative that we talk to ourselves, the more we believe it. And it's really easy to get into that negative self-talk and, you know, think that you're not good enough and you're not worthy and you're not pretty or handsome or whatever. And I feel like more and more people need to take care of themselves. And plus we have jobs. We're on this floating rock in space and we're paying bills and rent. And that's stressful.
It is stressful.
It's stressful.
It is stressful. And you know, and you know what else about this negative self-talk is that if we indulge in negative self-talk, which we all do,
Mm-hmm.
I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
I don't care where you are on the continuum of self-love, and whether you're high, low, whatever, in the middle, whatever.
Yeah.
You are going to beat yourself up every now and then.
Yeah.
And
That's natural.
and when we beat ourselves up, we pay attention more to negative circumstances.
Yes.
And we miss the good juju in life. We miss the good opportunities. We miss the good feelings.
Yeah.
And so we can get ourselves into a rabbit hole, I think,
Yeah, it's a cycle that continues. You get used to it, and it's hard to pull yourself out of it.
Yeah. It is hard to pull yourself out of it. But you know what else is interesting? Is that self-love is the foundation for romantic love.
Mm-hmm.
It sets the groundwork.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like to say, this is what I used to say to my patients, hello world, as I drink a little bit of tea. I was once a licensed counselor. I'm going to have some more tea. But I used to tell my patients, what was I going to say? About the Snickers bar. Okay, so see, this is what happens when you hit 67. It's like, woo, gone. So
Even 37. I was trying to think of something earlier to tell my mom, and I was like in the middle of the conversation, and it just. And she's like, "You were saying this," and I'm like, "Yeah, I sure was."
But I used to say to my patients, if you don't have a Snickers bar, you can't give away a Snickers bar. It's the same thing with love.
Yeah.
If you don't have self-love, you can't give it away. You can't love something else.
Yeah.
Self-love doesn't make it easier to love somebody else. It makes it possible.
Yeah.
And there's a difference. And I think, and it sets the foundation for healthy, not only romantic relationships, but any type of relationship.
Sure.
Healthy relationships with others. And it allows you to fully accept yourself, fosters confidence. I got my little notes here in case I go off on a tangent. Enable you to better care for your physical and emotional well-being. And essentially, if you don't value yourself, you can't fully give love to others, and that's just what we just said.
That is true.
We can't give it away if we don't have it.
Yeah. Yep, I agree.
Now, about self-love, what is the good stuff about, what does self-love bring us? I know it brings us like positive self-image, which is important.
Well, when you look good, you feel good.
Yeah, when you look good, you feel good.
And
Yeah.
vice versa.
When you feel good, you look good. Yeah.
I feel like it starts from the inside,
It does. Happiness starts from the inside.
Mm-hmm.
Self-love starts from the inside. It's an inside job.
Mm-hmm.
As to coin a phrase, And if you have self-love, it helps you to do other things that I think help you to build even stronger relationships and more healthy relationships. Like if you have a strong self-love, I think that you can have healthy boundaries.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you know what you are not going to deal with and what you will deal with. And people who don't love themselves, if, you get put in situations and things and your boundaries are like, have a hard time saying no type stuff. And
Yes, hard time saying no. Saying no to things that don't go along with your values, that don't go along with your goals. We see that all the time. And and if you don't have a strong self-love, you can have somebody eat away at your boundaries over time. Like a little bit at a time, like a little baby step. Well, you let that go.
Yeah.
And then you let that go, and then let that go. And then the next thing you know, you're in hell.
Yeah. It's like it has to do with I feel like your self-esteem as well, because if your self-esteem is low, you allow things that you normally wouldn't, that you don't like, but
It's true.
Yeah.
It is very, very true. And resilience.
Yeah.
If we have strong self-love, we tend to be a little bit more resilient
Yes.
towards the blows that come through life, because it's like this,
The waves.
the waves of good fortune and bad fortune. Well, I shouldn't say bad fortune, but things that we really don't want to happen to us. Like I have a fire. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My car's being weird.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah. My car's are weird. I got air. Something going on with the air in my tires. Yeah. But another key point to self-love is that you have better relationships, and I can't. And I know I just said that a few minutes ago, but I can't say it enough.
Yeah.
I can't say it enough. And mental well-being. You have mental well-being. Yeah. So positive self-image. So let's talk about that. When you love yourself, you see your own worth and value, leading to more positive self-images and increased confidence. Now, that's not to say that you're egotistical.
No, because there's a difference between being fully yourself and being confident.
Good point, Jennifer. There is a big difference between that. And, we've all run across people that are egotistical.
Mm-hmm.
But then we run against people that are self-confident, and we like to follow them. Isn't that a part of being a good leader, is being self-confident?
Yeah.
Or when you go to a doctor, you don't want to go to a doctor that's, whining.
Yeah.
You want to talk to a doctor that's confident
Yeah.
in his abilities,
Right.
or her abilities.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, so healthy boundaries. Talk about that. Give me an example of a healthy boundary, Jennifer.
Let's see. Now I'm like,
Think of between you and your daughter.
okay. Let's see. Where I, where they want to do stuff. They want to, can I do this? Can I do that? And sure, you can do that if you do this, kind of thing. Yeah, clean your room or make sure the dishes are done. And sometimes the kids try to get around that.
No. Really? Teenagers do that?
Right?
Oh, who would have thought?
Yeah. Oh, well, did you do this? No? Well, then I guess you can't do that. That's a boundary.
And that's a healthy boundary to have.
Yeah.
Because there's got to be consequences to your behavior, because the world is about rules. There's
Yeah.
rules wherever you go, and when there's no consequences to your behavior, you don't think the rules apply to you.
Right.
And that's how you get in jams.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And like a healthy boundary would be in a romantic relationship, is that you would expect someone to be faithful to you, like
Yes.
in marriage.
Yes.
That's a healthy boundary to have. And there's going to be consequences if you break that boundary. It's not like I'm going to go, oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
No. With a healthy boundary, you say, this is what you did, and now because of that, this is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
We're going to do.
Yeah.
And a lot of couples get divorced. Some of them are able with counseling and help to navigate through it, but
There's a level of trust that gets broken.
and once that trust is gone, it's very hard to rebuild.
Mm-hmm.
In romantic relationships, I used to say in my counseling days,
Sips tea.
that when you're in a relationship, you put the relationship in the middle.
Yeah.
And so you say to yourself, Tommy's really attractive, and Tommy's hitting on me, and wow, that might be something to have sex with Tommy, but is it good for the relationship?
Right.
And the answer is no, it's not good for the relationship, because I'm married, and I said that I would be faithful to my husband. So no, I'm not going to have sex with Tommy, because we go through life and we're attracted to other people for different reasons.
Sure.
But the trick is you don't have to,
You don't have to act on
You don't have to act on them.
Yeah.
I'm going to have another sip of my tea. And emotion is not a call to action.
Right.
It's not.
Right.
It's not. And, and a lot of people, I think, if they would realize that an emotion is not a call to action, that we'd have a much better world to live in.
Well, yeah, because people react like this, like that, and
They go off the deep end.
yeah, not
But-
everything calls for that type of response.
Right, right. And sometimes it's just like to take a step away,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so healthy boundaries allows you to set healthy boundaries with others, protecting yourself from manipulation. Wow. And enabling you to prioritize. Wow, my speech impediment came out that time. Your needs and wants.
Mm-hmm.
You know, healthy boundaries are really, really important, and resilience. By accepting our flaws, this is what I think, and I think this is so very important. By accepting our flaws and imperfections, we become more resilient to setbacks and criticisms.
Yep.
Because if we accept something, then somebody can't really hurt us with their criticism.
Right.
Because we already know that about ourselves.
Right. Yep.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
You know? So, yeah. And better relationships. As we said, you're more capable of giving and receiving love from others in a healthy and balanced way. Balance is key, I think.
Yeah.
And this mental well-being. Let's talk about mental well-being.
Let's do that.
Keeping things at an even keel.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very important.
Well, you know, if we have a mental well-being, like if we tend not to have deep valleys and high peaks. We tend to like go like that, like little waves, like little ripples, you
Yeah.
know. Self-love can significantly improve our mental well-being
Yeah.
by reducing stress, anxiety, and depression.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Who knew? I didn't know that.
Right.
I never put two and two together before.
Yeah.
That self-love would be that linked
Mm-hmm.
to stress, anxiety, and depression. But if you think about it, if you love yourself, you accept yourself, you're not going to beat yourself up. You're not going to have this doom and gloom attitude. You're not going to get so stressed out about the future and what might happen.
Yep.
You just know you're going to deal with it.
Yep.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
So loving yourself means not just forgiving others.
Forgive yourself.
Say it louder, Jen.
Forgive yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
May not be easy if you're caught up in emotions like, I could have done this, I shouldn't have said that.
Coulda, shoulda, wouldas.
Not good.
Mm-hmm.
What if I had done this instead? I can't believe I just embarrassed myself. I'm full of shame. Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard.
Yeah. Really. It's really hard. It's really hard. And forgiving ourselves is a gift we give ourselves, but forgiving others is a gift we give ourselves too. But we could do a whole show on forgiveness. Maybe we'll do that next month.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that would be a good thing.
But it's key. It's key to forgiving ourselves. And I have this written down here. When we realize we don't deserve to treat ourselves badly when we didn't perform up to our own expectations. Is that a mouthful or what? Is that a mouthful?
Yeah.
I should have done better. You know, or like, oh, I can't believe I allowed that to happen.
Right.
Or I can't believe I forgot to pay the electric bill and now I'm living in the dark.
Yeah.
You know, this sort of thing. But it's important that to remember that we're all perfectly imperfect.
Yes, I was just going to say that nobody's perfect. We're not, and neither are other people. So
Right.
it makes sense.
Yeah, it's okay not to be perfect.
Yeah.
And it's okay to make mistakes.
Yep.
Only when we start accepting the past can we then move forward into the future. Whoa.
Mm-hmm. My husband has a fondness of saying you can't trip on the past if you're moving forward.
Whoa. Deep, Derek.
Mm-hmm.
Derek, deep saying.
Yeah. Derek, if you're watching, hi.
Now, taking care of yourself is another strategy that we can use to increase our self-love.
Yeah.
Now,
Oh, did you bring the affirmation?
did I bring the cards? Yes, I brought the cards. I bought these cards a long time ago. And they're called a 52 card deck of self-care wisdom cards by Cheryl Richardson and artwork by Joe Podmore. And so taking care of yourself is when we believe in the notion that one should be able to take care of themselves first before taking care of others. What do you got to say about that one? Especially being a wife and a mother. What do you got to say about that?
Well, you can't pour from an empty cup, right?
Wow.
To use the euphemisms. So if I'm tired and stressed out and, and all this stuff, how am I going to, be a good mother, be a good wife? If I'm just like, bleh, it doesn't work. And so, I feel like especially with parents, they get lost in the kids and they get lost in work and, they lose themselves. And it's important not to do that. You're still a person outside of, a husband, wife, or, mother, father.
Well, Dr. Brene Brown says there's no such thing as a 50-50 relationship.
100.
Not even 100-100.
Oh.
She said, if you have 100, one day you might come home from work and you're totally spent. You had a bad day at work, and you look at your spouse and you say, I'm operating at 10%. That's all I can give is 10%.
Oh, okay, I've heard.
So then the spouse says, well, I got you covered.
Yeah,
I'll take care of the kids 80% today.
yeah,
And then the next day, it might be reversed or 60-40, whatever.
yeah,
And, and that's what Brene Brown talks about, that in any relationship, it's never 50-50. And it's never 100 and 100. It's always
fluctuating,
changing daily to daily, and it can change during the day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah. So, but as you said, that you can't pour from an empty cup. And so one way is to find ways to balance out the time spent on yourself through different outlets. Now, what could these different outlets be? What could you do to show that, you're practicing self-love?
Hobbies, things that you like to do, things that make you happy. So whatever that means to you.
Yeah.
Some people like drawing. Some people like being in the garden. Some people, whatever that means to you. If it's different for everybody.
Yeah. Running.
Exercise. Exercise is good.
Watching motivational videos. Talking to people. That's my strong point. That's what I love to do.
Here we are talking.
Meditating.
Yes.
Meditating. And pulling wisdom cards. Let's pull a card. Let's pull a card, Jen.
All right.
All right. Okay, so here we go. Okay, I'm going to shuffle the deck. See now, everybody thought that two mediums, because we're two mediums, that we were going to get away from cards, right? Ha ha! Fooled you.
Here we are playing with the cards.
We can't get away from the cards.
I just bought a new tarot deck.
Did you?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's called the Earth Woman Tarot.
Oh.
It's the imagery is very nice. It's really nice. I really like it. I'm hearing something.
You're hearing something?
Sounds like a vacuum.
Maybe.
Interesting.
Interesting. All right. Pick a card, any card. Read the card.
All right. Here it says space.
Space.
Okay. The quality of your life has more to do with what you remove from your life than what you add to it. Give yourself the gift of space.
Wow.
Interesting.
And what is the imagery?
So it's like a shelf, and there's a little cat, and then everything's arranged very neatly. So I feel like that, like clutter, that can have something to do with that. I've
They can prey on your mind. Do
Yeah.
you know that your personal space is a reflection of your mind?
yeah,
It is a reflection of your mind. People don't realize it.
yeah,
And when we can't tolerate the clutter, it's because our minds are clearing out.
mm-hmm.
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Don't beat yourself up because you allowed yourself to have clutter.
Yeah.
Applaud yourself that you're
Getting it taken care of.
getting it taken care of.
Yeah, I would clean my room yesterday.
Well, and you helped me with my one room.
Yes.
Okay, here we go.
Another one?
Yeah, we're gonna do 3.
Okay. Here, I'm gonna put that one back.
What's a show without cards?
All right, this one says surrender,
Surrender.
and it looks like a little princess.
Oh yeah, with wings. It looks like a little angel.
I like this. It says stop trying to control life. It gets in the way of divine intervention.
Profound.
Very, very.
Agape love. It gets in the way of agape love and guidance from the heavens.
Yeah,
Right.
I like that.
I do too. From the spirit world.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Spirit World.
Okay. So now we're gonna do another one. Okay. And last but not least on the self-care wisdom cards. Don't ask me where I got them. It's a secret.
Sovereign, and this has a crown on it.
Whoa! We're queens.
Yes, and that's what it says. You are the queen of your life. Treat yourself like royalty.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yes. You should treat yourself the best.
Kristen Neff
Best
says
that you can.
that we should have compassion for ourselves like we would for a loved one.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree.
When we start taking care of ourselves, physically, mentally, and spiritually, we start to feel more energized and positive. We then create space for more love and radiance into our lives. It's true, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is true. Treat ourselves with love and kindness like you would somebody you love.
Mm-hmm.
Treat ourselves that way. Do, as you said, do favorite activities like a hobby. Eating healthy. That's another one. Eating healthy.
Yeah, the food that we put into ourselves makes a difference.
You know, the indigenous say that food is medicine.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the indigenous say, yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. And hydrate.
Water.
Well, we're made of like we're like made out of so much of, our bodies are so much of water.
Yeah.
We are the people of the water.
Yeah.
Meditate. Prioritize yourself. I said it that time, Jen. I didn't stutter. Prioritize yourself. I said it again. I'm going to say it again. Prioritize. I got it now. Prioritize yourself. Learn to say no when you really have to.
Yes.
Uh,
And stick to it.
and don't feel guilty about it.
Yeah.
I remember years ago, you know, because I'm 67. I'm a senior citizen. Yeah. So,
No.
yes, I remember when I was younger and I was just, you know, just learning to say no and learning that, you know, it's okay to say no. When I first started saying no, I would feel guilty.
Yeah.
And my counselor, I had a counselor at the time who was helping me with this, which is really important. Sometimes, you know, there's no shame in going for counseling.
No, not at all.
I worry about the people that don't go.
I
More
feel like,
so than the people that do go, because healthy people go for counseling because they realize that they need a little help and they want to optimize their options.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
You know.
I agree.
You know. But I would feel guilty. I would say no.
Yeah.
And even though I knew it was the right thing to do, I would still feel guilty. I would feel guilty for like weeks. You
Yeah.
know. And the counselor told me that's normal. You're gonna get to the point where you don't feel guilty. And you know what? That day did come.
Mm-hmm.
But it took a while, you know, it's like anything, you know, Rome was not built in a day.
No. No. To quote another quote.
So now make your happiness a priority.
Yeah.
That's an inside job.
Yep.
So many people think that we get happiness from outside ourselves, which we can do. You
Yes.
know,
But it comes from within. I have something written here. When you
Okay.
love yourself, that energy is projected outward, allowing you to show others love, and that can look different for everyone.
it can look different for everyone. Like there's that big buzzword, that book about love languages and whatever. There's like
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's for another day.
Yeah. That's another show.
But it's about, but that book's about people feeling love different ways, you
Yeah.
know, and expressing love in different ways. That
Right.
that we're all individuals, you know.
Yeah.
But happiness comes from within, and we have the power. People don't realize it a lot, that that they don't realize that we have the power to choose happiness and make it a priority.
Mm-hmm.
And choose to be optimistic. It's a choice.
Yes.
Even though the situation we're in may not be in our favor.
Silver lining.
Now, ways to practice happiness. Did you know that we can practice happiness? Yeah,
No.
yeah. Guess how it was number one way?
Tell me.
For $1,000, guess. No, practicing gratitude daily.
Oh.
Yeah.
Giving thanks.
Giving thanks for what you already have.
Yeah.
Yeah. It creates a sense of fulfillment,
Mm-hmm.
positive feelings, which in turn contribute to one's overall sense of well-being. We're back to mental health again.
Yeah. It's
this
all
is
connected.
It's all connected, right.
Mm-hmm.
Take notice of the kind of thoughts we feed our minds, like you were talking about in the beginning of the show. Negative self-talk. Nix it. Nix it.
Our words have power behind them. There's energy behind them.
Yes.
So the more negative we speak, the more that manifests. The more positive we speak, the more that manifests.
Right, right. Now, self-worth. Self-worth, that's another strategy or tip that we can do to, you know, increase our self-love and in turn, and again, I'm going to reiterate again that when we increase our self-love, we increase our romantic love.
Yes.
So for all of you out there that are going, well, I want to talk about Johnny not loving me. If you do these strategies, your relationships are going to get better.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to get better, and you're going to attract people into your life that know how to treat you well.
Yes.
Now, Lao Tzu, this is what he had to say. He was an ancient China wise man, okay? Because one believes in oneself, one doesn't try to convince others. Because one is content with oneself, one doesn't need others' approval. Because one accepts oneself, the whole world accepts him or her. Deep.
Yes. Powerful.
Deep.
Yeah.
When we love ourselves, we provide a sense of security to our own being. We're secure within ourselves.
Yeah.
We don't need outside validation.
Yes.
We're not constantly looking for approval from other people.
Yep.
We know that we are good enough, and we don't need others to tell us that.
Yeah. Because we know it.
You know, my mother used to tell me, you know, when I started working, she said, your paycheck is your thank you. Your paycheck is what tells you you're doing a good job. She says, don't go to work and expect people to tell you you're doing a good job. It's very seldom that happens. They're usually telling you what you're doing wrong.
Yeah.
But as long as you get a paycheck, you're doing a good job.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
It makes us secure, and only then can we then attract the right sorts of people into our lives. This is so important.
Mm-hmm.
So important that like attracts like.
Yeah. There was a time in life where I was attracting relationships that were not good. for
No,
me.
really, Jennifer? You too? I mean,
Yeah.
the whole world's done
Right.
that. The whole world's done that.
Yeah, yeah. But it was just like, I'm like, what is happening? Why do I keep meeting the same person? And I read something recently that you'll keep meeting the same lesson in a different body until you recognize what the lesson is.
Right.
And eventually I had to recognize, like, oh,
Right.
now what do I need to do to fix that? And it started with going within and finding out, you know, what's going on. what is going on with me that I'm attracting these people. And once I stopped that cycle, then I was like, oh, everything's kind of cool now.
Right, right, right.
Yeah.
But you know, as empaths,
Mm-hmm.
we will always attract narcissists. We will always attract narcissists. But the difference is we don't accept them into our lives. We're just like, well, okay, I've been there, been down that road.
Yep. Yep.
Don't
Stay over there.
Stay over there, right? We don't need to revisit that love life, right? Right. Yeah. So loving ourselves allows us to value ourselves and know our own sense of worth. Right. When we know our own sense of worth, we attract worthy people into our lives, and we are worthy. We are worthy. We are all deserving of love just because we simply exist.
Yeah, because we're love. We're made of love.
We're made of love, right? Yeah. When we start to value ourselves, people start respecting that, and that in turn makes them value us as well. People start respecting that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When I was younger, when I was in the military, I used to say, I would rather have respect than like. You know, because I realized at a very young age, because, you know, I was young when I was in the military, I realized at a very young age that not everybody's going to like me.
Right.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
But as long as people respected me, we got the job done.
Right.
And they didn't have to like me.
No.
Because in the military, you have to respect the rank of the person. So you have to follow orders and you have to go along with things. So
Yeah.
But I used to say that, and some of my friends in the military would look at me like, "What?" And I'd say, "I'd rather be respected than liked."
Yeah.
You know, I don't need to be. I don't need to have a million friends. It's nice to have a million friends.
Yeah, but quality over quantity.
Right, right. Okay, here we go. People who value themselves are often happier, and that's because they understand their importance in this world. That's deep.
Very. I like that.
Right. Well, you know that you're important in this world.
Mm-hmm.
You're a mother, you're a wife,
Yeah.
you're a daughter, you're a friend.
Yeah.
And the nice thing about loving ourselves is that we also influence other people to love themselves. You know, just being around us, people learn to love themselves, but it's just being in our energy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You put off those good vibes.
Yeah. Yeah. And we give people permission to love themselves.
Yeah.
When we love and accept ourselves for who we are, others around us will be impacted by our energy.
Yes.
Yeah. They can sense our energy, and that motivates them to do the same for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
We can't pour from an empty cup, which you just said a little while ago.
I did say that.
Yes. Loving ourselves creates an overflowing effect of love, and it makes us love with a big heart. And it makes us compassionate.
Mm-hmm.
It's important to have compassion in this world.
Yeah.
You know, and we give others love. Now, this guy named Jerry Corsten said something about loving yourself, and I'm going to repeat it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is what he says. Loving yourself starts with liking yourself, which starts with respecting yourself, which starts with thinking of yourself in positive ways. And that's everything we've been talking about, isn't it?
Yep.
Loving ourselves is the best thing we can do for ourselves in the harsh reality we live in.
It is a very harsh reality.
Yeah, the world will beat us up.
Yeah.
And then, if we don't love ourselves first, who else would? You know, I had a doctor say that to me one time.
Yeah.
I was a young woman. I was like in my 20s. And I had a doctor say to me, if you don't take care of yourself, who do you think is going to take care of you? That's what he, you know, and I was like, whoa. I mean, my head did a roll on
Yeah.
that one. I was like, wow. But, it was really, really profound. But it's true, right?
Yeah.
It's really, really true.
Yeah.
If we don't love ourselves first, who else would?
Well, yeah. That makes sense.
Okay, so now let's rehash. To increase self-love, here we go. Practice self-care. Self-care wisdom cards.
Everyone see the cards.
Positive self-care. Actively avoid negative self-talk that Jenny talked about in depth. Cultivate gratitude. Set boundaries. We hit on that.
Yep.
Be mindful of your thoughts and beliefs. We talked about that at length.
Mm-hmm.
Forgive yourself for mistakes. Embrace self-compassion. Treat yourself with kindness and understanding as you would a loved one. Now, this is where people tend to have a little bit of a struggle. Acknowledge strengths, accepting flaws without harsh judgment. Don't beat yourself up, folks.
Yeah.
Don't beat yourself
None
up.
of us are perfect.
We're perfectly imperfect.
Yeah.
But that brings us to a close. We got like 9 minutes left.
Yeah.
Let's have a sip of tea.
All
This is
right.
what my tea says. My tea cup. This is a coffee cup. I didn't want to break my china. Coming to the studio. All the flowers of all the tomorrows are in the seeds of today.
Very nice.
Tea time talks. Yeah. So now we're going to be back next month. March 18th. It's another Tuesday night. Because I'm busy on Thursday nights. I didn't explain to people. Yeah, so I'm busy on Thursday nights for the next for this month and the next month. So I have something that I'm doing that I can't get out of. Well, I don't want to get out of. Let
Yeah.
me put it that way. Of course, I can get out of it. I don't want to. I don't want to.
Your boundaries.
Yeah, but boundaries, right? And it's something very helpful to me. And so it'll be next Tuesday night. I mean, next March 18th at 5:00 at night. We're meeting instead of at 7:00.
Okay, that works.
And we don't know what the topic's going to be yet. We'll have to think about that. But this tea time talks, this format seems to be working. I just thought I thought we could mix it up a little bit and not give people readings and not giving them that sort of help. That there's other places you can go for that, and then for like a little change, we'll February is the month of love, romanticizing love, and so that's what we talked about tonight. Now I want everybody to know that my name is Virginia McIntyre, and I have a web page, virginiamcintyre.com, and you can sign up for mediumship readings, Reiki healings, spiritual counseling. All that on my website, and my fee is published. It's right there. You can sign up, pay in advance, and whatever. But keep in touch with us because Jennifer and I are going to be doing another sound healing. Because we did one at Sage. At the Sage Center.
Yes, in November.
We did that in November, so we're going to be doing another one. But things got in the way, so it didn't really come about. But that's okay. That's okay. We'll get it done when we're supposed to get it done.
Yeah,
we'll get it done.
Yeah.
And so stay in tune. And so Jenny, how can people get a hold of you?
Well, you can find me I'm on TikTok right now. Crystalline Healing 716, and I recently got the ability to go live.
Yes.
Which was very cool. So I haven't gone live in a little while, just because life has been lifing. But I'm going to start that again soon. So you can catch me doing mediumship live on TikTok, and I do tarot readings and stuff like that. I don't have a website yet, but hopefully soon. And you can, if you do want to book tarot or Reiki or mediumship, you can message me 716-935-0703. And
Now you can find me at Virginia Ginger Kerwin McIntyre. As if you're watching this on Think Twice Radio. My Facebook page is Virginia Ginger Kerwin McIntyre. McIntyre, Virginia, and it's virginiamcintyre.com. I'm also under Reverend Virginia McIntyre, and I have a private group on Facebook called Illuminating Forward. But this is Illuminating Forward, the podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
and I'm on Facebook too, so
Yeah,
you can,
yeah,
you can
Facebook.
find me in Jenny DeJesus Nicholson. You can find me there.
because I've people are using Facebook a little bit differently these days. So
They are.
using it a little bit differently these days.
Yeah.
So, but I think we can end now. I want to thank everybody for watching us,
Yeah.
and I hope everybody got something out of this. And if you hadn't, just take what you can and leave what you don't want.
Yep.
And we got 4 minutes left, and we're going to fade to black. So, thank you very, very much.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. We love you. VirginiaMcIntyre.com.